Hey, how's it going? I hope you had a great catch-up day or Cinco de Mayo for those of you that celebrate Mexican holidays, and maybe you had some tacos. I don't know. I did, and it made my day. Yeah, it was a good day eating Mexican food. Reminded me of my roots. Anyway, let's talk about population sample a bit more because I got a few emails of people that were a little bit confused about it. So I just want to make sure that we have a solid grasp of this concept before we move on. Before we did population and sample, we were talking about the mean, the average, okay? That is a way of gathering information from data. Let me say that again. Finding the mean slash average is gathering information from the data. This right here, population and sample, this is gathering the data. Okay, we have to gather the data in order to get information from it. And that's what this is, okay? So when it comes to population and sample, you got to remember the key is the population is the big group. The sample is the smaller group that we get the information from, okay? That information that is representative of the larger population. All right. So like the examples I gave yesterday, or actually, let's just go through here. Okay. Out of all the sixth graders at the Wellspring School, 20 were selected to take a survey asking about their HBL experience so far. Okay. So population is the big group. What's the bigger group here? In this case, it would be all of the sixth graders. That's the big group. The smaller group is the 20 that took the survey. Okay. The sample always the sample is the small group from the population. Okay. So just look for the number. This is how you can tell. You look for the number. So let's go here. All right. In the UAE, 26,000 residents have been tested for COVID-19. All right. So where's the number? The number's right here, 26,000. Okay. A little hint, that number is always going to be the sample. That's always the sample. Now, you just have to ask, okay, what is that sample taken from? What is the group that sample was taken from? In this case, it would be the UAE. So the population would be all the residents in the UAE, and the sample is the 26,000 that were tested. Does that make sense? Here's another one. A factory foreman selects 65 respirators at random from those produced that week at the factory. Then he tests their functionality. All right, so where's the number? Right here, 65. 65 respirators. All right, so 65 respirators were taken from what? Where do those respirators come from? Well, they come from the factory during the week, okay? So out of all the respirators that were made at the factory that week, 65 of them were tested. So that 65 is a sample. It's just a sliver. It's representative of the data of all the respirators that were made that week. Okay. The theory here is that if you take 65 masks and you test them and they're all working perfectly, then that gives you a pretty good idea that the rest of the masks, or sorry, the rest of the respirators that were made that week are probably safe as well. All right. You can't take the time to test the hundreds of masks that are made. I keep saying masks, I'm talking about respirators. The hundreds of respirators that were made that week, you can't take the time to test all of them. So you test a sample of that population. Okay. And then you apply the data to that population. And as we go on, we will learn exactly what that means. Okay, so I'm going to give you 4 more questions today to work on practice with population and sample. And then tomorrow on Thursday, we are going to be looking more closely at how to manipulate the data that we can gather from the sample taken from the population. All right, so let me just say it one more time. Population, big group, sample, smaller group within the big group. See you later.